everyone, it's Tailz from Studio WyldFurr here. I've just set up the Sci-fi Map Tiles II package as a art asset to be used in Fantasy Grounds, and I thought I'd give a little demo to show you how it works. So let's have a look here. Okay, what you want to do is go into your assets, click on images, and then look for the little bag that says Sci-fi Map Tiles II. Double click on that, and here you'll see the contents of the package. So let's pop that window over there and make it a little bigger so that we can see the contents of each folder. So that's basically the reason why we do that is, for example, when I look at these art pieces, I can see a good variety of them before having to click to the next page, and so on. So let's go back to the top. Okay, now let's create a blank canvas. So in our images panel, right click and click create item. So this gives us a blank map canvas. So I'm just going to put this one up the top and make it a little bigger. There we go. Now, this is going to be our map canvas where we'll drag and drop each of the tiles to make our map. So the first thing we need to do is set the grid. Instead of using the default 150, we want to change this to 180, which is the grid size that I use for all of my map tiles. Now, let's start by making a little map. So I'm going to basically make a really small map as just a demo. So I'll make one room with a little platform. Now, when you first start, you may notice that the tiles look a little dark. That is because the light settings, the dynamic lighting, is probably enabled at the beginning. So you might want to go into the play and then disable that. You can turn it back on, but when you're map building, I find it better to turn it off. So come back to our layers, the layer selection tool, and then we can drag our pieces around. So let's pop that one there. So I'm going to build a little platform. So oops, put that one there. So as you can see, I'm just quickly dragging and dropping and building up the map one piece at a time. So that's our room. So let's make a little, this is going to be a platform. So let's use these edge tiles. Pop that one there. Now where's there it is. So that's going to be like a little platform, and then we'll have the floor coming out from underneath. So let's pop that into a folder. Let's call that platform. And pop all of these into that folder. So there's our platform. Now, one quick word. I like to make a map using folders to organize all of the assets, because as you can see, that graphic is made up of these pieces. And one thing I'm quickly going to do is I'm just going to hide the grid, because I like to do building without the grid, because I know everything's going to snap into place. So back to layers. So I'm going to set up my folders. So I have a folder and I call it floor, and that's where I put all of my floor pieces. I have a folder, call it walls, and that's where I put all the walls. I usually also have a folder called ground, and that would be below all this. You could also go and, like, if you put the roof on each of your buildings, you could call it roof, and that would be our our folder structure. So that way, if you need to, you could build the building with the roof, the walls, and the floor, and then on top of the ground. That way, you could go and hide each layer. So if you want to see, let's just say you're doing a bunch of buildings with a outside area, you could build the buildings, the walls, the floor, the walls, and the roof of each building, and you could have the streets or the wilderness terrain in the ground. That way, when you're outside the building, you could actually have the roof showing, and you could see the it'd be like a top down of a settlement. So you'd have the roofs and the streets, and the trees and everything like that. And then as you go into the building, you could then hide the roof and show the inside of the building as the players progress into the building. But that's a little bit down the track. So for this simple demo, we're just going to be building 2 rooms, a little corridor, and going with that. So that's our platform. Now let's go to the other style of tiles, and let's create so this will look a little weird because you'll see what I mean. So I'm just going to create a little bit of extra floor there. Now if you watch what I do, this is where the layering becomes important. Oops. This needs to go into floor. There we go. So as you can see, the platform is now appearing above the rest of this floor because I've got it in a folder above all these pieces. Whoops. I just took them out of the floor folder. So that's our platform in a room with a floor edge. So let's just say we've got a little short corridor. Let's build that with these pieces. So let's just which one is it? Okay, so let's get rid of that one. Whoops. Put this one in its place. And there we go. So it's a short little corridor. I'm going to have another little room here. Where is... There it is. And we'll give it a funky little edge. And some corners. And that one. And then we'll put in like a machine part under the floor. So once again, we move all of these into our floor folder. And there. Whoops. Oops. Yeah, I've noticed that if the folders move, they don't like to have things put in them. So it's usually a good idea to keep the folders above everything. There we go. And oh, I put that into the walls. Let's go into floor. There we go. So that's all on our floor folder with our platform on top. So that way our platform looks like it on top of it. Like it could be a little step. And there's a little room here. Then to build the walls, go to our wall overlays, and let's start with this one here. Pop that there. So let's find this one. Here we go. Whoops. Put it there. And that one can go there. Let's put it. Now where's the other side? Here we are. Now I need these corners. There and there. Now I'm going to use a little passageway. So I've got Passageway Tiles, so it's just quickly enables you to pop down a bunch of passageways, which are two walls facing each other. Instead of plonking down one side and then doing the other side, if you use the passageway once, you just do the whole passageway really quickly. Now I could build this doorway, if I go back up here, by just putting down, one side and then the other side. But what I've got are quick little doorways where it's both sides quickly filled in like that. Just makes it a little bit quicker instead of putting down one side and then one side. Now let's do this room. There and oops. There and that piece. And finish it out. Whoops. Now you could, let's just say this is going to an outside area, so you could come along and go, where is it? In fact, I'll build this up as if it's a standalone building, and that's the entrance. So grab that. Oops. Come up here. As you can see, I'm just quickly drag and dropping, just moving them into place. Now this should be snapping to the grid, assuming that you've gone and set your grid to 180, which is the default size that I use. I know a couple of other people use like 100 or 50. I think Fantasy Grounds by default is set to 50, but I find 180 means that you've got a map that's got some good detail, but it's not going to be too huge and too chunky. Oops. Helps if I grab the asset and not the window. Put that one down. Dunk. Blunk. Blunk. And I need over this side. Dunk. 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 Now I need some corners. Cornerstones. So where is it? Grab that one. Now we need that one. Oop, no. Want this one. There we go. this corner. And this corner. There we go. Now, you'd normally fill these in with like a white panel. Let's see if I can quickly do that. Rectangle. Oops. It's giving us a tint. I don't want a tint. Yeah. Well, if I had a thought about that, I would have done something better. But you get the idea. You'd fill it in with a white space, or make a room in there. So let's come to this bit. So now once again, I'm going to go and put these folders on top. And put all of these tiles into walls. Dunk. There we go. So they're in the right place. Now, I'll just build a little exit. Use this floor. Now this is where the steps come in handy. So you put one there. One there. One there. So these have to go into the floor. Oops. Yeah, that's that. Put the folders back on top. Yeah, they really don't like being moved. Okay. So, and then we need to put little corner pieces in. It's the wall overlay, cornerstones, and so we want that one. The other side, which is this one, and put those into the walls folder. There. So that's, a little building. You could then go and build a grassed area around it. Let's just say we put in like some doors. Now, this is also where I usually have another folder called Features. And this is where I put in like furniture, objects, doors. So let's go back up here to the door overlays. So let's pop in at a door. Now we'll use this little piece on the top to turn it. And let's put it there. So I put this into the features folder, and I usually put features, like you can just leave it there, or I usually put it between floor and walls. There we go. So that's a really quick build of a little building. Let's add in a window. Windows. So I'm going to put one. Dunk. Put that there. Oops. Move it over. And again, just spin it round. We've got one there. And That's that one there. Let's put a big window. Put it there. And that, now put these into the walls folder. The main thing about windows is that it has to sit on top of all the walls, because as you can see at the moment, they've gone underneath. Where's it gone? Yep. Let's pop them up the top. Doink. There we go. And you know, there's a quick little map. That's how you use map tiles. You can pretty much build whatever you like. It's pretty quick, easy. You can build a small, large. It's pretty granular because it's block by block, but it's got a lot of versatility. It's just a case of playing around with it. I hope you have a lot of enjoyment with creating adventure maps in Fantasy Grounds using this Map Tiles pack. Grab this one. You could also grab the Sci-fi, the first Sci-fi pack, because this is the second one, and it just, you know, the exact same process. It's just a different, slight artistic style, so it all builds on a theme. Have a good time. Thank you for watching.